Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Connell giving you another look, a second base, if you will, at surviving the abyss. So when last we saw each other, we were watching our base pretty much trickle down into nothing. When I say nothing, I mean we were getting rogered, but good. Now, that said, a lot of what we kind of had an issue with was, I'm not going to say our own problems here, but, we more or less pretty much screwed ourselves. And when I say we, of course, I mean me. Now, I'm trying to make this a little bit more choiceful, a little bit more precise, a little bit better for us, really, as we go through the darkness. We're going to suspect, of course, immediately it's going to go and give us things like, let's go and get that cloning lab up. Yeah, that's fantastic. As of right now, I got to think about the best way to do that. The other thing I think I kind of discovered here, and I'm trying to think about this more completely, is getting a super early research lab. Now, why is this useful to us? One reason is it allows us to get those very, very important research points with a crazy amount of speed. Is that a major concern for us? Yes and no. I'm also considering, we're going to plop this generator right here, and we're also going to put down node 2 generator just off the side. Maybe put on the other side over here. Now, why are we doing all this? The last thing we kind of had an issue with really overall is we didn't have a very good understanding of how much power and how much resources we were going to need and all the issues that we had going behind that. And I say we, and of course the major issue I had was me. I didn't quite grasp that very well. I will also say that technologically speaking, probably want to get this carbohydrate pretty soon, and the protein harvester-ish pretty soon, because I feel like people are going to really be looking for that before too much longer. I don't know. Point being is, we're going to try to go and really build wide pretty quick. Now, why is that important for us? Well, it's important for us because we were not able to keep ourselves up and running. And a lot of that's on me. I mean, I understand that this is a kind of a game that requires a bit of a steep learning curve, but I will say it did feel very abusive that if I didn't make the absolute perfect choice immediately, that I was going to get completely and totally screwed. That's okay. I understand. Tons of people going to the power station over here will be fine. Tons of people going to this right here, that will be fine as well. But you can see right now the first thing I'm really trying to pick up is a ton of steel and a ton of coal. Because once I get this power up and running, we're going to need a lot of it pretty darn quick. And I will say the first thing I want to really be working with is a bunch of crew into that coal station. What I'm really trying to minimize this time is I'm trying to minimize the explosion, let's say, or proliferation really, of a lot of material behind this. So 2 living quarters, 75 food. I kind of wish part of it wasn't, they were almost forcing you to create a hefty chunk. So the other thing I kind of want to do here is maybe put this here and this here, because we're going to eventually put a mess hall in this area to make it easier so that way people don't complain quite so much about the lack of food. Not even just food, but good food. Because that would be a pretty big issue pretty darn fast. I'm also going to assume, I can't really go and expand that very much. But if I keep all this nice and condensed, it might be a little bit better for us in the long term. So, with all of that in mind, and with me dithering quite a bit already, we'll put that there. We'll put the mess hall right in this area here, and at that point it'll allow people to very quickly start to create a lot more resources, create a lot more kind of an expansion behind it. Okay, we should be good. This is already being powered. That's excellent. This needs to be powered as well. So that would be 4. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what I'm probably going to do is I'll probably turn this off immediately. Yeah, get a ton of coal. Cool. Put this off. Put this off. Because for right now, I'll build them, but I'll just keep it turned off for now. I don't need to actually have it, because I don't have the living quarters up. Well, I don't have the food for the living quarters up, so it doesn't really much matter to me. What I can do immediately is to start doing some research for those resources. So I'll do spawn cat out there. Good, coal extraction point. It'd be really, really nice. I was able to find some more of it. All these other areas. But, of course, that's not to be. Hi. Nice. So that's recharging. Still small scrap steel. I don't need to worry about steel for the moment, so that's not really that important for us. You know, there's one of the comments that kind of get made over here on the forums themselves about the fact that there is a bit of a punishment in terms of trying to almost build tall as opposed to building wide, and I kind of agree with that. You know, I'm about 4 or 5 hours in. I love the milieu of this. I love the kind of feeling of this kind of game really overall. Well, I think it's struggling a minor bit is in this early game, you have to feel so extremely choiceful about what you do and how you do it. Now, I'm not arguing with that. I think it's a great idea. I think that a lot of games really kind of make it way too easy to kind of go and say, ah, you've got this down. We're going to go and just kind of vomit resources in your direction. I was actually complaining to, I have a little sister con. I was complaining to her actually recently that there's a lot of games where it's just like, okay, you figured out 2 systems and now the entire world's your oyster. No pun intended, since we're underwater. That's really not the point, I promise. But I think that there's a separate level over here where it is a ton of resources are really, really hard to kind of pick up. And it does kind of make it so that if your base doesn't get started perfectly to start with, you're probably in a really, really rough position. Again, understandable. The ocean is full of terror, but it feels like it should be maybe just a smidge more active and rewarding gameplay that's not, you know, super min-maxy immediately. Common habitat, we're probably going to build out to that pretty darn quick. Yeah. So, the next thing I think we're going to have to do is we're using only a little bit of coal, which is fine. It's actually kind of the ideal for us. That's 2 and 1. That's 2 and 1. I'm going to continue to keep my usage as low as possible for right now. I don't want to go and do the hospital. I want to go towards that mess hall pretty quick. The other thing I might consider doing is I might go for this actual slot unlock. Because I think what's going to happen to us is we're going to go and need to secure a very, very large, a very, very hefty, kind of easy supply of resources. When I see resources, I mean people themselves. Right now we have 3 people unemployed, so I have the ability to kind of bring up 1 more. And we very much need to have that happen. Okay, kind of thought that was going to continue to build out here, but that's totally fine. That's cool. I'm wondering if that's giving the same return on that one. Is that what that is? No, it's that one further out. Cool. Okay, so it's a common habitat up there. All right. So, food is here. I'm going to start building out towards a protein harvester down in this region. But by the same time, I want to make sure I have a marine stabilizer. So here's the issue. I got to build in 2 directions. I have a couple of common habitats Maybe that's the way to go, is I build one north, one south. But I don't like that very much, because what that does is it encourages me to kind of split my efforts. It doesn't seem like a great idea. The other one I did say I was going to do was pick up slot unlock. Rate attachment per day? You know what? Let's actually pick this up, because a faster unlock for research is going to be great for us. So I can't afford the cloning lab, that's okay. The module, though, I put this on top. That's going to speed up the research, give us 18 per day. And once we get the actual scientist down here, too, it's even better still. Now, I think my goal over here is to begin with. It's going to mine out this steel, mine out this coal. Being very, very precise about what I'm going for here in particular. The issue is that very, very soon, I desperately need to pick up some concrete, so... Oh, that's a nifty little thing. Mining relay, where's that concrete? So we have a little bit of concrete I had seen. Quartz glass. Concrete way the heck back there. Quartz glass. Pause this for a second. I need concrete. Oh, just there's a little bit of concrete there. Tons of iron, tons of coal. Lots of steel over here, which is fantastic. You know what? I'm gonna try to drop this bad boy down over in this region. Can't go that far out because it's on the edge of the. It's into the darkness. All right. We can't go into the unknown. Or we can go to the unknown there. I don't know. Confusing. Regardless. Tossing this power. There we go. Unlock tier 2. We'll be able to do that sooner rather than later, because now we're getting 18 science per day, which is nice. And I'm wondering if that's the kind of the goal here, is that you have to like scoot up as soon as humanly possible into each of these pieces. Actually, let's do this. Power line. Oh. There we go. So now he's not unhoused anymore. At least he shouldn't be unhoused. That'd be better. 3 people are still unemployed. Sucks to be them. Am I building enough food? No. No, I am not. I did say I wanted to break out that mess hall. So mess hall I think is 90. Yeah. Mess hall is 90. And I've got some concrete that I need to start kind of bringing in. So I'm going to drop the coal for now and bring in concrete instead. The other thing I might consider doing, and I don't know how much sense this makes, but one of the things that they kind of start bringing up is a submarine factory. A submarine factory can manufacture additional submarines, and I'm wondering if this is a nice solid call for us to start expanding our fleet sooner over later. Now, ideally, I want to put my cloning lab right there, just at least from an aesthetic standpoint, might be a good idea. The science and the cloning in the same region, so I know where to find it. The other thing I could do is I could put the submarine factory down here. It'll make things a little bit less gorgeous, but it keeps things still pretty condensed, and I don't have to worry too much about, first of all, unemployment. I actually might be able to afford putting another submarine into play, which means that we could potentially, could be able to build out a little bit quicker. Mining resources a little bit faster allows us to kind of make sure that we're not running out of stuff too quickly. So the 2 living quarters, I need to probably make that like I talked about. Ooh, but what I can do, I can also turn this off, save myself a little more power. Now, there are 2 common habitats and there's a rarer habitat up there. So I'm thinking that the first thing I do, just to kind of secure some comfortable expansion, is I'm going to go and put a light tower way the heck out here. Now, what's that do for me? I'm also going to go and use the nifty-difty power line. What's that do? Well, I guess I have to build it this way because it's in the darkness. What that allows me to do is allows me to build to both these common habitats here and here. If I do that, I can bring in a nice bit of high-quality food pretty quickly, and I can mine this down here for genetic material. Now, why does that matter? Genetic material, again, for the cloning system itself, we're going to need a lot of cloning. A lot of cloning potential. And right now, I don't have enough for that. So, we'll do a mining resource. If I need to, I can shut this down. Rosefish and spider crab. Cool. All right. Protein harvester I can't afford because of the steel. Do I need a ton of that? Okay, so I need quartz glass as well. So we're starting to get a little bit more dynamic in the kind of uses that we have to kind of work through. I'm okay with that, actually. I don't mind having to be a little bit more hands-on with who and what to bring in. I think I have an issue is when I don't have the ability to do really anything whatsoever. That's the part I think that frustrates me quite a bit, is that if you give me a game to kind of say, yo, let's go ahead and play around with this and see what's going on, that's fine. But I'm going to struggle to really attach myself to a game where there's no potential for me to kind of come out ahead. But in any case, that's fine. The start of this is feeling a little bit better. We're having a better control over what's going on with this. This is fine. I also turned this off. And actually, at this point, I wonder if I just get rid of this. Get 6 steel back. So I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to get rid of that, get 6 steel back. And what that allows me to do is allows me to jumpstart the expansion onto these protein harvesters. Now, there is one other thing that I have to make sure that I have, and that's this marine stabilizer. So we're going to start building this out for a second. I need 2 power, 1 oxygen, and I need 2 power, 2 oxygen for each of these. So here's the scoop here. I've got to go and expand my power ability, let's call it, which gives me more efficiency here. That'll be great. So we go from 3 to what? Don't I get more power out of it? I get 22 power overall. Okay. Huh. I was really hoping we were going to get more of a power boost to that. All right. Let's plot this out for a second. So a protein harvester here. That's great. I get quartz glass up here. Also great. I can get coal up here. Also great. Scrap steel. Fantastic. A lot of opportunities up here. But I need protein harvester. So I'm going to place that down here and here. But I also want to place down is a marine stabilizer, because that's got to be able to go and kind of deal with both of these. Not enough resources for the marine stabilizer, that's totally fine. I get it, I hear you. I'm also going to go and flip you around, because I realized that I'm going the wrong direction with that. Oh, what's this? Steel supplies are running low, yeah, I'm not going to worry about that right now. Because I can still get a good amount of steel here. I got 25 steel. I can also drop down the quartz glass as well. So I'm enjoying the fact that I actually have a lot of ability to modify this a little bit more. I feel a lot more comfortable with the ability to expand, let's just say. I still don't want that furnace. It's a bad idea. Actually, I also don't want this concrete that much anymore, so I'm going to pull this bad boy back off. Drop this not over here. I'm actually going to get another mining relay to boost my ability to pick up some steel from this bad boy. Cool. So here's the other question. Do I build a second mining sub? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that's a steel investment that I don't need to worry about right now. I also think I'm really going to worry about the, what you call it? I don't need to worry about an exploration sub just yet. I'll tell you right now, the exploration subs are really ticking me off. So former people. I can get former people. I don't still want to bring them in just yet. So, folks, we're coming up to the end of our time here today, and really what I'm seeing is I'm seeing a far more condensed, and in my mind, reasonable kind of approach. My ideal here is by the end of this, I want to get this marine stabilizer up and running before we go. Because the sooner I can go to high quality food, the less I have to depend on a mess hall to offset the low quality food. And I don't want to go and put a marine stabilizer in without being able to replenish these habitats. Annoyingly, this is going to bother me quite a bit. So this one has to be offset by 1. This one's perfectly straight. Yikes. So that bothers me. Not a whole lot I can do. Requires an elevator. Ooh, okay. So elevators. This is the first time I actually get to use these. Last time I didn't need this whatsoever. So an elevator shaft. Okay. That says it fits. Well, if it fits, it fits. So for right now, although it's a much longer tunnel than I want it to be, that makes our food supply that much easier and cheaper. Now, I guess the tippy top last thing I'm going to do is get myself ready to boost into another bit of power. Because right now, we're running a little bit low on that. So, okay, fine. We're that close enough. So now, with all of this in mind, we're actually going to be running out of people that we need. So we're going to need at least 2 or 3 here. We're going to need 2, 4... We basically need up to 8 people there. So what we're also going to do is going to go and open this up, which is going to cause some hassles. And what we're also going to do is turn this off. So there we go. Got a ton of new crew members. I don't know. Well, we're going to see how this goes. A lot of high-quality food being brought in. This is not functioning because I need the power. So once I get the power for this, happening imminently, life should be hunky-dory. Find that out in just a second, I hope. But, for lack of a better term here, so I think we're in good shape. I think we should be able to expand without too much of a hassle. And I think what I'm going to do, to make sure I don't have that hassle, is to pull you from the stabilizer. Better? Yes. Awesome. We are in great shape now. So that's solid. We're actually getting a good amount of high quality food coming in per day. We're not consuming all of it. So actually we're rocking. I feel a lot better about this base. So folks, this was the second base for us here. My next video, I think overall, I'm going to try to do is expand further out. Maybe start picking up materials so we can start going and reproducing clones. So maybe we'll go here and try to build out. Heck, maybe we can try to build out this uncommon habitat down here. I'm not 100% sure. The only other thing I have to worry about is I've got to make sure that I'm bringing in enough coal, which right now we are not. Our coal is gone. Oh no, we still have coal. Plenty of coal, actually. So yeah, we're in good shape. All right, folks. That's going to do it for me today. Until next time, I'm Connell Work. Take it easy. See you all soon.